Okay, lowdown on this 2014 Audi Q7. Customer had this issue, car is immobilized, cannot start. We did some remote work for him. Still was not starting. I told him to ship us a couple of the modules. He opted to put this truck on a truck and ship it here to Houston, Texas, and let us deal with it here in Houston, Texas. So that's where we are with this truck. Diagnose it as the immobilizer is completely corrupt. So we're rebuilding that from scratch to get this customer's truck working. All right, guys, on part 2 of this video, I'm going to actually do the adaptation on the Audi for the immobilizer and for the ECM and transmission control module. To those that have subscribed and donated to the channel, if you want like the dumps, in case you ever run into something like this, I'll have a link down in the description where you can download it. And of course, just email me for the password and I'll send you the password to the file. Also, I have some links in the description if you want a link for the key that you're going to need, and watch the previous video on how to program and making the dealer key. Like and subscribe. All right, we're decoding the Audi key. And that is our bitting. All right. Now we're going to cut the key. All right, 90%. There we go, looking pretty good. Works just fine, and of course works in the switch fine. All right, guys, I lost this part of the footage where I actually programmed the key. Texas heat, my phone literally overheated, so I'm going to try to redo it to see if you can see it. So basically, after you're going to want to load the emo data, which I already have it loaded. We already made the dealer key. Of course, you should have seen that in the previous video. Like and subscribe, go back to my previous videos. You're gonna go to okay, you got to wake it up. So if this happens, you need to wake it up. So to wake it up, you can put on the blinkers, hit the high beams, do that, and then try key learning again. That should have woke up the immobilizer. Texas heat is crazy, man. So you got to have the XP400 hooked up to this, by the way, and internet connection. So it's going to ask you the number of keys you want to program, as you can see there, or maybe can't. There we go. So of course we're going to pick one, hit OK. And this dealer key, we already made it. Like I said in the previous video, it's connecting to the XP400. Turn the ignition on, insert each key to be programmed, and at this point you will put your new key that you made, insert it, and then you hold it in, turn it and hold it in on the crank position. Once you do that, it's actually going to come on. The ignition is going to come on and start. Let me try it. It might not do it because this one is already done, but you just hold it and crank. Yeah, it would have done it already by now. So it's not going to do it because this key is already learned. But that's all you would do. The dash will come on and the car literally is going to start. It'll cut off after about a second because, of course, this ESL is not mated. Immobilizer is mated to the car. So that's the next step. Okay, I wiped it out. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, no keys. This is a dealer key because I have it inserted. I'm going to pull it out. This data is live, so as you can see, it's switched to no. Insert the key, and now it needs to be programmed. I literally just did it, so it cranked up and started and shut right down. So that's normal. What it's going to do: turn the ignition off, wait 5 to 10 seconds. I don't know if you heard the ESL. Just click there. You're going to wait 5 to 10 seconds and turn the ignition on. It might not come on, but we're going to give it a try anyway. Key in and nothing. But to get it on, once it's programmed successfully, if you just unlock the door, unlock and lock, and then you insert the key and then turn the ignition on, it will come on like that, as you can see. And that's it. So this would be identical for an all keys lost situation on an Audi A7 Q7 as well. Guys, here it goes, so you can see what the IM608 reports when you go to the emo status here. You can see how it reports to show you what's going on. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is insert the key into the ignition, and you'll hear the emulator as well. I'm doing this over an emulator. You heard it, emulator click, and you see we got dealer key and learn key. If I pull it out, so you know what it looks like once this is done correctly. There it is. And I'm going to try to turn on the ignition. Of course, that's not going to go because I need to now adapt this to the car. By the way, right now the controls do work. Unlock, lock. I can hear the locks. So just so you know, if you do want to test it and see where you're at with it, I just locked, unlocked, insert it. So 1 second, and then you can actually perform a test. It's a cut. At that point, there's a cut. So at this point, now we're going to go ahead and match this to the immobilizer to the ECM and PCM. All right, we went ahead and connected up with ODIS system. So we're connecting. So do a start diagnostic. This is pulling the information from the immobilizer. I'm going to have to modify that, by the way. All right, so we're into the vehicle. We've connected. We're using our J518, our Autel J-Box to connect to the car. So we're connected, and the VIN number, of course, up there is the emulator. So what we're going to do is component protection, because we need to adapt this module to the car, right? So we're going to go here to perform tests, because that's what we have selected. Tell it yes. Okay. You got to make sure you wake up the car, you know, hit the lights. I got the blinkers on so that the terminal 15 is not present. It might still work. Okay, so it didn't detect it, so let me wake it up. Surefire way to wake it up in this case is the unlock, lock, unlock, and then at this point, once you insert the key, it's going to wake up the immobilizer. So insert it. I heard it come on, so the immobilizer is awake, the bus is awake. Terminal 15 is on. I just turned it on. It's communicating. As you can see down there at the bottom, that's where it communicates here. It's reading data from the immobilizer, which in our case is our emulator. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this emulator for this full process. I'm not sure for how long it would go. It might be 100%, but I have never tested it. I'd like to prep another unit as a backup in case it fails at this portion of it before I proceed. But we're gonna go to this portion. I'll make a part 3 then, and this is where you log in for it. This is where it's actually now going to, using the component protection, it's going to adapt this ESL to this car, right? So I'm going to come back. There's going to be a part 3, so we're going to go to the next step. So like and subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and wait for part 3, man. It's coming next.